Yo, the Pocket 4P is officially out, and I'm gonna teach you guys how I edit and color grade both the Pocket 4 and the Pocket 4P footage in this video. This is gonna be a tutorial for beginners. It's not gonna be like a in-depth color grading, whatever. This is just simply how I use Creative LUTs and how easy it is to use these things in the most simplest way. So I hope this video helps you guys out. If it did, please let me know in the comments. You're probably one of those people that just like wants to color grade a little bit because you see those cool YouTube videos. And yeah, those guys are probably doing some crazy power grades and tree nodes and stuff like that. And I did test this on the DaVinci free version as well as the professional version. Yes, this is gonna be a DaVinci tutorial because I feel like DaVinci is the leading software for video editing and especially color grading. So that's what this video is going to be. All right, guys, this is the Pocket 4P at 3x zoom. I got the tracking feature on so you guys can see what this footage looks like in 3x zoom. I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna provide a Dropbox link for you guys to grade this footage on here. I'll stand still a little bit so that way you guys can do a little bit of a grading. I'll get a little bit closer so you can see how much, I think right there, so you can see how much background blur you can get out of this camera. Right now we have like a pretty, a partly cloudy day, so you're gonna be seeing exposure change. I do have all the settings here in manual, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I have the ISO set to 400, I got ND64 on, white balance is set to 5300 with a 0 tint on it, and then I do have this on D-Log because you cannot shoot D-Log 2 on the 3x zoom. But guys, please do not sleep on D-Log. Go watch Cam Mackey's video. He shoots a lot in D-Log with the 3x zoom and it looks gorgeous. D-Log 2, or D-Log is amazing. D-Log 2 is a little bit better, but I don't even, honestly, D-Log is completely fine. It doesn't, I don't think it's gonna like break this camera. I almost wish they wouldn't have added D-Log 2 only because now that you see it, you want that little extra sauce in it. And yeah, it's hard that you can't get it on the 3x zoom because that's really cool. I don't think it's anything that's gonna make this camera not be able to perform at a professional level. So I've been using it as a B cam. Let's walk a little bit this way, guys. Get you guys a little bit of different lighting. Let's see what this lighting looks like. I'm in full shade right now. And the reason I did this, guys, is because I don't want the colors to change. I set everything in manual. And if you want the best footage, you're gonna have to use these cameras in manual because it's not gonna change the color temperature. It's not gonna change your exposure or anything like that. The dynamic range is gonna stay the same. As long as obviously the lighting doesn't shift too much, you can recover quite a bit with this log file. So I'll leave that here. Let's do one more clip on the regular. All right, guys, I'm gonna have this as another downloadable clip. This is on the 1X lens, D-Log, everything in manual, 5300 Kelvin on the white balance, 400 ISO, and ND64, 1/50th shutter speed so we can get that motion blur. But I am gonna provide a downloadable link to these clips, guys, so you guys can grade these if you want to and practice. So again, this is D-Log 1X on the Pocket 4P. We are in a, I would say, pretty high dynamic range area. It's pretty contrasty here. I'll walk this way so that way you guys can see what it looks like in shadow versus, you know, bright highlight. Also, these LUTs are gonna be provided again on the link below in the description. It's an affiliated link. So if you wanna support the channel, if this video helped you out, please use the affiliate link as it gives me a few bucks so that I can buy more gear and accessories to keep making videos for you guys. And I really, really appreciate that. So these LUTs are the LUTs that I've been using for everything, my professional work, YouTube, and everything like that. Both conversion-based LUTs, which I think are the best from Gamut. I'm using the base LUT for Pocket 4P, also the base LUT for the Pocket 4. And I know they have them for the Luna too, which I should be hopefully getting a Luna at some point according to Insta360, but we'll see what happens. And stay tuned for those videos as well and my thoughts on the Luna. All right, guys, so we are now on DaVinci Resolve. Like I said, this is possible on the free DaVinci Resolve as well as the paid version. I want to say that if you are going to be invested into video, then to just pay that one-time fee because it's totally worth it. DaVinci Resolve is the king of color grading, in my opinion, and it's just so simple to use. Once you start playing with it on a daily basis and start messing around with the footage, you get familiar with it very, very fast. It's very, very easy. I've never played with Adobe Premiere, so don't ask me questions about Adobe Premiere. I don't know anything about it, but let me show you real quick. Right now, as you can see here, we are on the color tab. So if you go on the bottom, DaVinci Resolve has like different stations, different workspaces for every step of the way when it comes to editing video. And they did it in a way where it makes sense from start to finish, cutting your footage, selecting it, timeline, effects, color grading, music or sound design, and then export. So that is the way that they think it's the best, and it's worked for me. So we are now in the color tab. So if you look down here, there's a little wheel there with colors. You click there. Now you're in the space where you are ready to color. Again, this is a tutorial for beginners. So sorry if you're watching this and it just sounds like I'm talking to like a little kid or something, but this is the way I like to learn. This is the way I learn. And I wish there was a video like this that was just super simple that I could just understand. The first thing you got to make sure of is to change your settings. Down here in the bottom right corner, you see a little gear. You're going to want to change your settings to color management. I changed mine to DaVinci YRGB, and then I have timeline color space and output color space to Rec 709A because A for Apple, that's what I call it. It's for Apple screens. I feel like almost everybody that's going to be watching your videos is either going to be on a MacBook, on an iPhone, an iPad, or some sort of Apple devices. And honestly, Rec 709 looks good on other devices as well beyond Apple. But I just been using Rec 709 for everything, and in my edits transfer exactly the same to when it comes to like monitoring it and viewing it on YouTube and other situations like that. So make sure you change that first. Once that is changed, right down here, you're going to see all the clips that I have, and we're going to create 3 nodes. So you're going to have 1 for your adjustments, 2 for your base LUT, which is what's going to convert your log footage into a base Rec 709, which is kind of like your natural normal color. And then number 3 is going to be your creative LUT. It's that simple. In order to create the node, you're going to hit Option S on Mac, and that's how you create a node in front of another one. It's kind of like creating layers. And then if you want to create one before that, you, instead of hitting Option S, you do Shift S, and that creates a layer or a node behind the one you selected. So super, super easy. So you're going to select on the node here, you're going to select number 2, which is the middle one. And I'm going to drop in the DJI base LUT, which I'll have links in the description. Please use the affiliated link so you can support the channel. I'm going to use D-Log to Rec 709 because that is the log format that I was using for the Pocket 4P. So we're going to select that. And now, as you can see, the footage has switched over to normal color. So now you can view it and it just looks like a regular color. In the node before that, though, we're going to adjust our contrast level. So it looks like my highlights are a little bit bright for my liking. This is all subjective, but for me, I would drop the highlights just a little bit, and then maybe exposure just a little bit too, just to get a little bit more contrast. Remember, the more you drop exposure, the more contrast, the more saturation you get. The more you brighten it, the more like airy and I guess desaturated it gets. That's kind of the way I see it. It's a very simple way of kind of looking at things. Now that everything's like that, I think white balance looks pretty good. It could be a little warmer for my style, but here we'll add a little bit of warmth by using the temperature color slider over here on the side where it says temperature. We're going to add a little bit more. And then the tint looks good to me. Finally, this is where the creative LUT goes, guys. And you're going to go to the layer number 3 or node number 3. Now I'm going to be using gamuts. Let's see, we're going to try this, the creator LUT. This is the latest one, and I really, really like it. And we're going to be using the Cine, which is number 2 in this pack. They got the Cine 1, Cine 2, film, stock, warm, bold, bold. That's kind of like punchy, almost like a vivid color. And then I think these are their orange teal LUTs right down here. If you're a fan of orange teal LUTs, these are it right here. But the cine one up here, these cine ones are like some of my favorite ones. Stock looks pretty cool. As you can see here, it's just a one click and then you get the footage ready to go. But because I exposed everything correctly in camera manually, everything looks really good. But every situation is going to require a little bit less or more of the LUT. So I'm going to show you how to do that in case the LUT's a little bit too strong. Let's say we're going to add the cine one right here. And let's say it's just a little too strong. All you got to do is come down here to this little icon. It's called key. So you're going to click on that. And then if you come down here to key output while on the creative LUT node, you can go to gain and you can actually turn that LUT down all the way down to 50%, 60 until you think it looks good. And if you want to check reference, you could always click on the node and it actually disables it and then click back, click off, click on, and you can see how strong it is. As you can see, I think I like even numbers, so I'm going to do 60%. I think 60% looks really good on that. As you can see there, it's just very subtle. Remember guys, with video, less is more. So that's pretty much it. And then you're done. If you want to, in the node number 1, this is where you can go back to the color wheels right over here. And then you can get pretty creative with it. You can add more warmth to the midtones by selecting the gamma, which is kind of like the mids, I call it. And you can move that around here. I'm going to go extreme. So you can go warm, you can go teal, you can go magenta. You can move these around. If you want to reset it, you just click this little reset cycle wheel. And same thing here for the highlights too. If you want to add some tint to the highlights, you can just move this thing around. As you can see, while the LUT is applied, you can add your own sauce to it. And that's how you can get a little bit more creative. You can also add contrast. So if you want a little bit more contrast, you can slide this, or you can go to the curves up here. If you guys are familiar with curves, you can make a contrast curve and then add that on there. And then finally, if you want to see your before and after, guys, you can click up here in this little magic wheel, I don't know what it's called, and it's going to disable all the nodes, and you can just see the difference right there. Again, when it comes to color grading, guys, everything is technically like subjective. So like if you want to add more grain, if you want to add halation, if you want to add bloom, if you want to unsharpen, sharpen, you can do all of that stuff. Everybody likes their footage different, and that's the beauty of using D-Log. But I wanted to get you guys in the beginning steps of messing around with color grade. Maybe this is where you start, and then you might just stay there, and that's okay with you and it works for you. But if you want to take it past that, you can by using all these tools, and it's very easy to do. But the main purpose of this tutorial was actually to just show you a simple 3-node setup to start messing around with color grading, and to at least get you a nice creative base for you guys to go off of and use any LUT. So any LUT that you want to use, just go on that number 3 node after the conversion LUT, and then you can dial down the key output depending on how strong that LUT is, and then you're ready to go. As long as your white balance, your exposure is nailed down in camera, and nothing's peaking, nothing's everything's lit pretty decent, or as best that it can be lit, you should be fine with the LUTs. So I hope this tutorial helped you guys, and yeah, stay tuned for some Luna content, because I'm praying that Insta360 sends me a Luna. I'm kind of in conversation with them back and forth, and so I'll be throwing out some tutorials with some iLog footage too for you guys to check out, and just to talk about my opinions in terms of what that camera looks like. All right, take it easy and enjoy. Peace.